Hey everyone, welcome to Nurse Talk. I'm Mike.
And I'm Chris.
And today we are reviewing episode 3 of the final season of Clone Wars. That's right, the episode's called On the Wings of Kiridax?
Yeah, I believe.
So basically, what we may be the final episode of this arc. There might be one more, but this could be potentially the final episode of this arc with them fighting Echo with a Bad Batch and kind of, at this point, essentially extracting him.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the episode?
I thought it was okay. I don't think this is... I think they might have one more for the arc. I think they might split it into 4 episodes for each arc, so have 3 arcs. It's just... I think there's a little bit more to it. They left it kind of open-ended at the end where they're like, oh, it'll be just like before, and then Echo's kind of hesitant, like, yeah, just like before. I don't know if that's the ending that they want with that clone batch and the Bad Batch. But overall, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was if it was the arc, it was what I would want. So,
Yeah, I thought they had some cool new things that they showed, like these droids, these what I call them raptor droids kind of thing. You find out they have wings, now they can fly. That they're stronger than the average droid. They're able to pry open doors. We have a new droid, the Devastator, that we see and use. Yes. It looks pretty awesome.
Very, very.
This technology that the what is it called, the something union, the trade union, the technology tech union, yes, and what they use and stuff like that. And so we get a little bit more of Wat Tambor. So if you just run through the show, I thought it was good. It definitely didn't have that punch that I had for the first couple episodes, but it still was great to kind of see where they ended up and kind of drew this clan, this native people to their cause. But
definitely.
Other than that, just another war episode, right?
Yeah, a lot of shooting, a lot of fighting.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
So this episode picks up right where the last one ended up. They're in the Anakin and the other Bad Batch clones are outside fighting off the droids, while Tech is basically trying to, in order to unplug him from the machine, he's got to essentially disconnect him from the computer via the code, I guess, itself.
Yeah, do it safely disengage him from
so it doesn't kill him. Yeah. So he's there trying to do it, and so Anakin runs in while the other clones are still keeping the droids at bay, and is like, we got to hurry up. The droids are coming in. Like, how's it going? And Tech's like, I need more time. I'm trying to figure this out. And so, Rex is there with Echo, and they're talking some more. And then the other clones get in because they're getting overwhelmed. They close the door and they start fusing it, welding it together. Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool. Tech throws I guess it was
Crosshair and Hunter.
Yeah,
we're both working on it, trying to get the door all fused shut. And so they were working on that. And then Wat Tambor kind of shows up with his minions, and then
there's
the droids,
a whole bunch of droids
coming up. And then he says, "Okay, send in the Devastator." And so this little probe droid thing comes out with a bunch of little prongs and has this laser that's able to cut through the door. So it starts working the way through the door. So then Crosshair and Hunter kind of jump back and close the next door and start using that one to slow it down as much as possible.
Yeah.
And so while they're doing that, Tech's like, okay, done. I got it all done. We can safely unplug him. So Rex unplugs Echo, and Echo complains about a really bad headache, but otherwise he's kind of back, so to speak, kind of has his mind in control, which is great. Then they got to figure out where to go, and so Echo talks about there being an escape hatch that goes to the cooling system above them, and so he plugs in his robotic arm and hacks through.
Yes, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, very droid-like. So he's not just part cyborg. He literally has the mind a little bit of a computer, because he was tapped into the computer while they were able to read his mind. He was able to read and get access to the whole
feed of the tech unions.
Yes, the database basically. Exactly. So all the information, all the computer information. So he's super smart from that perspective, at least. And
he knows all their layouts, their strategies, all that stuff. So he has it all memorized and embedded in him now.
That's right.
Which is another reason why I think they might use him for one more episode to try and showcase that a bit more, and because nothing really happened. They blew up their factory and technology, but other than that, nothing really came from the two heading off each other.
That's right. So they're looking up at the ceiling, trying to figure out how they're going to get into the hatch. Wrecker grabs the clones, starts throwing them up one by one, gets them all up there. Yeah, they all get up there, start climbing up. And then he goes to grab Anakin. Anakin says, "No, it's okay. I don't need any assistance," and uses his Jedi powers. And there's a force jump, and jumps up into the rafters. And I'm like, "How's he gonna get Wrecker up?" And then I'm like, "Oh wait, the force he can pull him up."
Yeah,
which makes sense because they have force pull and all that kind of stuff. So he goes in there, and at this point, the Devastator is about to break through the drawer. So Wrecker throws a bunch of these mines, these detonators on the computer. He's like, I'm going to destroy this tech so it can't be used again, and just throws it all over the room. And Anakin pulls them up, and as the Devastator makes its way in, emits this crazy lightning attack that just fills the room.
Yeah, so it's like kind of tentacles that come out electrical-wise, and they're trying to grab at Wrecker, and Anakin has to do an extra little pull to get him up and close the door. And then you see all the tentacles recoil back in, and it shuts off.
Yep, and it's basically like Palpatine kind of like electrocute, search and destroy. It's pretty devastating, very dangerous. So it's cool to droid. So Wat Tambor wonders why the droid shuts off, and it says they couldn't find any organic matter. So Wat looks through the hole that it made and sees that there's bombs everywhere. And then, of course, the whole room blows up.
Yeah.
They go flying back, and then he gets upset that, his research, all of the information's gone. Echo's been taken, and it's a big, valuable asset that they lost. It's a big hit. So, he sends off his droids, go get them back. So the droids kind of immediately run through, trying to figure out where they are. In the meantime, the clones make their way out of this exhaust port. Echo kind of points to where there is a
pad, a landing pad.
That's right.
Yeah. So they think that he's hoping that there's a ship there that they can use to get off the.
That's right. But they have to cross this long pipe over a huge, I don't know, 1,000-foot fall, really high up.
Yeah. And we already know Wrecker doesn't like ice, and gravity doesn't like him as well.
No. So Anakin takes the lead using, the Force and whatnot, and his Jedi reflexes to kind of head out first, and then Rex and Echo and everyone kind of follow, and Wrecker's obviously at the back.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of going, slowly making their way, and then droids start filling out both in front and behind. And of course, droids don't really have to worry about balance or anything.
Exactly.
They are just like marching right across that thing, shooting them. So Anakin's trying to deflect at the front. You have some of the guys trying to shoot at the back. I think it's Crosshair loses his balance. Wrecker jumps down, grabs him, and kind of grabs at the bottom of the pole, saves his life. In the meantime, they're trying to figure out what to do. And Tech has an idea that he has this technology that records pretty much anything he wants, and he had it set to record. I guess while it was recording their language, he recorded the sound that the Kiridax, the big bat creatures, make
when they're injured or need help.
Yeah, distress signal basically. Yeah. So he plays it out loud, and sure enough, all the Kiridax come flying in, and so they're like, "That's our ticket out of here." So they're trying. Anakin's like, "How are we going to get on them?" And they're like, "Oh, we have to jump."
Same way we can, just jump down.
So Anakin jumps off, and I was like, "Okay, that makes sense. Jedi reflexes is going to get it." And then every clone kind of takes their turn, and everyone gets on one. I would have thought it would have been more realistic if one missed and fell, because let's be honest, they don't have reflexes. Those bats are going fast. It would suck to lose one, or at least one falls and then someone grabs him or something, shoots a gun and save him, because it just didn't seem realistic for every single one to land that, especially at the speed that those bats are flying by.
Yeah.
But either way, they all make it on the bats. They all fly off, and then we see the droids kind of grow, these wings pop out and fly right after them.
Yeah, I thought that was very cool. Very cool. I did not see that coming. I thought, okay, this is how they're going to get away, and then they'll regroup and kind of go after them that way. But to see them actually, dart out wings, it's like, oh, that's a little different. That's new.
Yeah, I've never seen a Geonosian, right? That Wat Tambor was there at the Battle of Geonosis. He was there with Dooku and the Separatists, and he provided the Death Star plans. And so with the Poggle the Lesser being the leader of the Geonosians, and all of them having schematics and all that kind of stuff, I'm sure he's like, oh, this is a good. And how did these bugs fly? Could have incorporate that into his technology.
Yeah. And I mean, the robots that they do have are very insect-looking.
Yes, they are
very thin.
They are
arms. So it does make sense that they use that bug aspect, and then have the wings that look like bugs as well. So
absolutely,
I really like that, and I thought it made sense for the story as well.
Yeah,
that kind of Geonosian connection.
Absolutely. So they take off flying. The droids are kind of chasing them. One droid crashes as the bats are swooping through hills and stuff like that, and so they hurry up, get back to the native village. The boss asks them why they came back, and they're like, this is the only place we could have gone.
And he's like, you broke your promise. You brought the war to us.
Yep. So some of the droids come fly in. They kill all of them except one. One escapes. And so they said, well, we're sorry. And so Echo kind of steps up front, and Rex talks about, like, this is what they did to us. So clearly they were supposed to be neutral, but they've already chosen a side. Now it's your turn to choose a side. And so Anakin's like, I couldn't put it better myself. So they, of course, decide to join with them and to fight against the Tech Union. And sure enough,
it's very hard for them because their weapons are mostly just spears and primitive weapons. There's no guns that shoot or anything. It's just boomerangs or spears. Pretty much.
That's it. And they're Kiridax, right?
Yes, that's right.
So what happens next? I think it's someone who scans I assume it's probably Crosshair because he has that visor.
Yeah, so he says, well, I hope they choose to fight with us because there's a lot of
droids coming.
Droids coming, yeah.
And so we see Tambor at the back of the base kind of saying, like, get our prize back. Like, it's too big of a loss for us not to have it. Go get it back. And he sends out a bunch of droids, plus these two, like, giant spider-like droids.
So that spider-like droid kind of reminded me of The Incredibles, where that big that boss at the very end where, what's that, Insano? Is it Insano? Is the bad guy in the first one? The kid that won. Syndrome.
Yeah.
So his boss, where he was controlling it, but it just reminded me a lot of that with the legs and the
spinning head
and everything like that. So that's the first thing I thought when I saw that, but it was very devastating that weapon. There's two of them as well, and just going against the native clan and all their population, they didn't really stand a chance, unfortunately. But
absolutely. So they came in and kind of showed off. So again, this technology that they have, and so they had to kind of figure out how they're going to take it down. So Anakin kind of jumps up. He's like, someone made a comment about him showing off because he was up high on the hill with Rex and with Crosshair, with Echo and himself, and then Rex was on the floor with
Hunter and yeah.
They're all there. So Anakin jumps down, stabs the face, cuts the guns off, just goes and just destroys one by himself. In the meantime, Wrecker tosses Rex right up to the top of the thing and then throws up. Was it Echo as well? No.
I think it was Hunter he threw up with him.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense because I know Crosshair took the last shot. So then they each went off through an eye because it had 3 eyes and 3 guns.
Yeah.
And then Crosshair shot the last eye. And so because it couldn't see, it couldn't really shoot properly. And then as it was walking around, it almost stepped on Wrecker. Wrecker grabbed the foot very Hulk-like, held it up, didn't let it get crushed. And then I guess one of the droids that Anakin was chopping up fell and hit the other droid, and they both collapsed and destroyed. And so they kind of won the day.
Yeah.
The last few miniature bug droids that were left took off and went back to report to Tambor that they failed.
Yeah.
So that happened there. Tambor was very disappointed and was like, "We're gonna have to." It was a big loss we suffered. We're gonna have to find like another one. I can't remember the words he used, but basically like. We have to recoup that loss. So I'm like, oh, they're going to go after another clone or something like that. So it was very interesting the way he said that.
Yeah.
And so, they're all cheering. The natives are free. They stop the attack. And so they all kind of board a ship and they're going to be heading back home. And then Echo and Rex have a conversation. And Rex makes a few comments about him, like kind of being back, being his whole self and saying
just
stuff
like old times.
Just like old times. And then Echo kind of, so as Rex heads up the walkway to the ship, it zooms in on Echo, and Echo says, just like old times. And seemed kind of, so to me, I made a note here, seemed kind of creepy, like he wasn't all there.
Yeah.
Like there was something, like there was something maybe planted in his brain, the computer, something was off with him, the way he said it.
So that's what I think. Are they slow playing him where he's going to double cross, or he's been programmed to, like Order 66, when something triggers him to attack his old friends, or, bring back intel or whatnot. So that was one of the things, especially at the very beginning when I first saw him, like, oh, okay, he is real. Now they're bringing him back, and like, will they let them escape? Will it seem like they're trying to get to him, but like still trying to let them escape? So I was trying to see which way it was, but I go back and forth on this because Tambor, seems like he wants to get his asset back. Yes. So if he really, really wanted to get it back, then it wouldn't be, planting them in to do it. So maybe he's just like not 100% there, not on purpose for Tambor, but just because of all the stuff he's gone through, his brain's going back and forth with all the information he has, and maybe confused. Maybe he doesn't want to go. Maybe he's starting to remember how it used to be and how he got left, and no one came back for him.
That's right.
Until they heard the the call signal from him.
Yeah, so that could be it. His memories are flooding back, and then you realize what had happened, and then
how long it's been, and no one actually came back for him, and he's in a different spot now. Absolutely. And someone else was able to take advantage of him. Instead of them finding him and saving him, someone else found him and used him too.
And we know that he is literally half droid, with his legs and his one arm is completely robotic. He's still got this stuff all plugged into his brain.
Yeah.
So he's definitely got computerized. He's still cyborg. So there could be something that is in that equipment that is, like I said, sentient or something like that, right? So we don't know. But it'll be interesting to see kind of how that takes place. That's why I said, like, this could have been the end, but I kind of think they set it up to make it a little creepy. Like, oh, there's still something else happening.
Yeah. Maybe between Tambor and Echo making those statements, it's like, seems like there's something left to do.
But I don't know if it'll be like an episode 4 of this arc, or like another arc will happen and then he'll come into someone else's arc.
That's what could go that way as well, which I'm okay with either way. I'm okay with them kind of circling back for all the arcs come together at the very end.
Yes.
And kind of,
finished it off.
Finish it that way with everyone together. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, so overall, it was a good episode. I wouldn't say it was a great episode, but it definitely gave us some context of what's going on and clearly to set up something else that's going to happen. We know that this season will end up right up to episode 3, the beginning of episode 3, as close as they can. Yeah. So we know that will be essentially the finale. So they only have a few more episodes to kind of get themselves there. So at this point...
Sorry, quick question. Yeah. Did you notice that this was 6 minutes shorter than the other two?
It did feel shorter, yeah.
So it was only 17 minutes and the other ones are 24.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what? It's done already?
Yeah.
And then I scrolled through and then I went back and I looked at all the other times. I'm like, oh man, this is 6 minutes less.
Yeah. And again, remember that he was only allowed to finish up the episodes that he didn't already have done. He already planned out. So he already had storyboards. So they could only fit this into X amount of time.
Yeah.
I'm sure if he had more time, he would have expanded this episode. But it was like, this is what you have. Finish it because you have to work on the next project, which rumored is a Rebel sequel. But we're not 100% sure yet.
I'd be all for that.
Or not Rebel sequel, but like spin-off or continuation. Yeah.
Where Ezra ends up, Thrawn,
Sabine,
everything.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about that on a separate review session. But anyway, good episode. I still think that they're doing strong. This I would say is the weaker of the first 3 episodes.
I would agree. It felt kind of like a filler, but not. Yeah, but still decent, but
still interesting.
Kind of a filler type.
Got to see some new stuff to Star Wars. Got to see the relationship between Echo and Rex. Kind of, again, I think it's setting something up.
Yeah.
Where it'll pay off later. But overall, it definitely felt Star Wars. I definitely enjoyed the Bad Batch as well.
Yeah.
And
they've actually grown on me more and more each episode and how they work together.
Yes.
Quite well in the mesh.
Yeah, so I think at this point, I'm ready to move on to a new arc. I'm ready to move on to Ahsoka or Yoda.
Mandalorian.
Or something.
There's going to be a huge Mandalorian thing to figure out who got the Darksaber and how did it go from clan to clan and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So we'll have to see where it is. But I mean, that's our thoughts. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. If you'd like to support us, please subscribe to our video, smash the like button, and drop a comment. Let us know if you liked the episode, didn't like the episode, things that we didn't discuss. Perhaps there are some Easter eggs that we kind of overlooked. Let us know. We'd be glad to read those comments.
Definitely.
Shoot us an email, nerdstalkinfo at gmail.com. And as always, friends, stay nerdy.